Okay, does that work? Hello? So ready, so professional. Sweet. Okay, let me move my fucking controllers and we can begin. Oh, let me close down Jabami. We don't need to see her. I'm gonna move the substance. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Hope it's not too late for you Europeans. I think it's like 11 for most of you. But let's paint Wizard Lizard. It's been a while since we've seen him. We're gonna finish him up today, completely. And we're gonna make him look awesome. We're gonna go through the entire process of the detailing, make sure everything works, and we can go from there. Nice. Get that midnight streams going. Alright. So, let's just begin finishing throwing colors on it. Oh man, he is not looking as good as I remembered in my head. Okay, we'll get there. Both looks nice though. Okay. So for those of you that weren't here for the beginning parts of this, we've already modeled our guy. We're just going to be texturing him now. Clipping in the arms and the tail is to be expected, as that's how the rigger asked to be set them up. So we're gonna just finish things up here, and let's get going. So let's paint the staff here real quick because it doesn't have any colors, and it really should. So we're just gonna throw a nice fill layer. Wake up for school in 6.5 hours. Jesus! Okay, maybe I need to do these earlier. I'm gonna go select the eyedropper tool by hitting C, I think it is? Not C, that's ZBrush. Never mind, ignore me. Oh man, what were my... God, it's been so long since I've worked in Substance. Keybinds. It's B, that's right. And then we'll get to soft color eventually? Maybe? Oh my god. Why is it not going to soft color? Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Okay, it is C. God, oh, it's just because the staff didn't have any colors on it. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. So now we're going to select the eyedropper. I'm going to grab a brown that's close to his stomach color, because while that may not be good for the stomach per se, I think it'll be good for the staff. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. Let me grab my fucking reference wherever we put him. Wizard Lizard. Is it in my files? Nope. Uh-oh, where did I put my Wizard Lizard? Is he on the desktop? One more time. Wizard Lizard. Nope. Nope, no Wizard Lizard. Okay. I gotta go find my reference. We're gonna open up Discord, and you guys are gonna see a blank screen for a sec as I go scroll a long ways away to find my chat where we have the Wizard Boy. Dun 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 bum bum. Open link. There we go. Okay. We're going to drag this boy to my desktop. Oh, so now I will always have him. We can open him up there. And I'm going to put him in the corner here. So we can easily have reference access. We'll know exactly what we want him to look like. And we can zoom in on specific parts. So let's do that. We'll snap the window here and we'll work from that. Okay. Let me close all those windows I opened to get this going so I can see chat again. You did not miss so much, Mitchie. Don't worry. We're just texturing now. I'm going through everything for this. So we're gonna add a fill layer. Now we can actually start. I'm gonna choose the. If I'm gonna scroll over here, he has a nice bright red. So I'm gonna go grab the eyedropper. We're gonna grab that similar red. We're gonna add a black mask to that by hitting right click and going to add black mask. For those of you who weren't here for the last Substance tutorial, you generally pick a color up here that's dictated by this, and then you add a mask saying black mask. If it's black, it means it's going to show nothing of it. If it's white, it's going to show all of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint in this mask what parts we want to show this color. So I'm going to do that by going up here and select the polygon tool. I'm going to zoom in on my texture sheet here. And I'm gonna go paint the parts that I believe this is the. Nope, that is not the flag. Is this the flag? Yeah, that's the base of the flag. So I'm gonna drag select over these polygons to fully fill them in with this color. Little limited on space here based on what I'm forced to have. And this is the. Nope. What is? Oh, these are clearly. Okay, we're gonna drag select over here. And fill in the rest of the flag. Make sure they're all bright and red. And we're going to go paint those in right afterwards, the shadows and the highlights. Going to do the same thing for the other side. Good. And those should be completely filled now. So now it's just a bright red flag. You live an hour away from your school? How does that even happen, Syrie? I literally, there was a fence on my backyard that I hopped to get to school. My school was completely adjacent to my house. Alright, we're going to duplicate this layer. by going down to the duplicate layers button, or you can just do Control D. I'm going to change the color to be a darker red, so we're going to just bump that down to a more desaturated version, because shadows are more desaturated. People tend to brighten up shadows, and that is incorrect. You should not be doing that. And we're going to go right-click, click the mask, and then right-click and go Add to Black Mask. We're going to take that all away, and now we're going to paint in. If you guys remember from our last tutorial, I'm a huge fan of the smooth, noisy brush for toon shaded models. It works so nicely. So we're just going to paint in the shadows here. So we have a good form there. I'm going to just go paint it everywhere I know a shadow will be. And we can just slowly gradate things out, add more form to it. Let's see how much you guys remember. What is the biggest rule when it comes to texturing? For those of you that were here for the first stream, should be applied to every single model you ever make. It's the one rule I wanted you to take away when we were doing texturing the first time. So you guys got this. Surprise quiz. And we're going to get some on the wood down here, but that's fine. We're just going to delete it afterwards. Right now we just really want to solidify the shadow underneath. I'm going to hit M on the keyboard to go into the shaded view. Now we're not going to keep it like this because it looks kind of gross, but I do want to dictate the very clear shadow line by just painting a little bit beforehand. Spin it around. And you can see it's getting very gray there, but that's kind of what we want. The reason why it looks like this is because of all the other maps attached to it right now. We're going to be removing those later. Actually, we should remove them now. We don't need any of this for a toon shader. All we need is the simple base color. So we're just going to hit the minus button here to remove these maps, and we don't have to worry about them anymore. Now there's still going to be some lit shading here, which is good. We want that. And now we're just going to fill in the shadow going across. More sings while I'm gone. I'm gonna kill myself. Don't worry, Dank. I will not sing without you. I know that's all you wanted. We're gonna sing some Cash, apparently. I gotta go fucking remember the lyrics for Hurt. We'll sing Ring of Fire, the one song everyone knows. Okay. Oh, got a little heavy-handed there, it seems. So we're just gonna gradate that out more. I'm probably gonna switch to the white or the black to start taking away this color. Actually, no, we may be fine here. So now there's going to be a little bit of a small crease here where the fold hits the base of the staff, and we're going to want to amplify that by just doing a harder shadow across the way, trying to make forms flow. So we're going to try to make this as curvy as possible while still maintaining the original shape that we have in the model. Because you can lie a lot about the shape when it comes to texturing. You can make forms appear that aren't even there. Like, this is very much amplified in the back here. Now, it may not work too well from this angle, but that's okay. And we're going to just gradate that shadow up. Why is this hard shadow keep popping in? Do I have a UV error? No, I shouldn't have a UV error. Easy. Hey, what's up, Systems? How you doing, man? Glad to see you're here. I'm showing everyone texturing. You say you can't do anything besides amazing particles? Well, guess what? I'm gonna teach you how to do amazing things. That's all I want out of these streams. Alright, we're going to make that a pretty hard shadow there. Same thing with the base here. This should be pretty dark. So I'm going to push very hard on my tablet right now and make sure that that base is completely solid red. We don't want any of that glow underneath. We'll paint in a bounce light later. Okay, that's pretty decent. Let's start by adding the highlight. So we're going to duplicate the main layer here. Gonna drag it above the shadows, and we're gonna make this a more desaturated, lighter color. So more like this pink. This should be pretty good. I'm gonna add a black mask. And now we're just gonna paint on top the highlights. So, we're gonna want to be very delicate with this. We don't want it to go too hard on the lighting here. We just want enough to indicate the form. So I'm gonna lightly paint these in, very subtly, creating the seam of where this fold happens. And we're gonna gradate it out like we always do. And we're gonna want to do this highlight on where the creases are held and where they're formed. A little bit of a one down here. We're gonna be more softer with this one because it's not as sharp of an angle as the top one. We're gonna gradate that out by making the brush pretty big. And we can get a little harder in terms of the highlight in the back here. Not that hard though. I'm gonna switch my brush to black and we're gonna take away from the highlight. I'm gonna switch back to the white. We're gonna paint the rim up here, shrinking the brush size first. Now, for those of you who don't know what a rim light is a bright light that comes out behind you and outlines the form. This is very commonly done in movies to really accentuate the silhouette of the character and the form, or any object they really want you to look at. Now, that works great when you have a designated camera, but we don't have that. We are trying to make a model look good from all angles. So how do we do that? You have to be pretty generous with your highlighting. You have to know where to highlight to really bring it out. But we want this highlight to define the forms. And hopefully, if I do this right, it doesn't matter what angle you look at it, there should be some incentive of a... incentive's not the word there. But some indication, there we go, of a rim light in the back. I'm going to go to the remove tool. And we're... I won't learn anything. I'm creating particles right now. Well, hey, you will definitely learn something ambiently. I talk about the tools constantly. The main thing you want to pick up is darkest darks next to the lightest lights. That's the only rule I really have for texturing. It works so well and it makes everything look really nice. I'm going to switch back to our white here on the highlight. We're going to gradate this out into the form more, make sure everything's more fluid. We'll go from there. Cool. Okay, we're getting a little bit of shape indication there. Minimal, but it is there. Let's move on to the highlighting and shadowing of the main part, and we'll try to seam these together. So I'm going to select a dark color. When cloth pinches, it tends to make a sharp... Let me switch to a hard brush here. It tends to make a good V. That's probably too big. Good V where it connects. And you gradate it out from the center. So we're going to be doing that with our soft noisy. But I'm going to go pretty hard with this. So I'm going to actually select our default soft brush first. And with a light hand, I'm going to try to indicate that that triangle I was talking about first. We're going to just draw it in, basically. We're going to try to extend that longer. Go back to our soft noisy, or smooth noisy. We're going to paint the shadows where it connects, because there will be shadowing there. Gradate it out. And once we start doing that, we're going to get a nice shadowy base. Now I'm going to have to go pretty heavy-handed here to match how hard the line is on top there to make the gradation smooth. That's okay. It's pretty simple. There we go. It's not bad. Shows a good indication of the cloth there. More, you've inspired me to learn Blender 22 days in a row now. Hell yeah, man! Have you created anything, Calzaroke? Calzaroke. I'm gonna assume that's... yeah, Calzaroke. Have you made anything yet? What have you been working on? Or are you just still going through the basics, quick? Alright, we're gonna need to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try to mimic what I already drew on the other side. Yeah, not exactly the same, but that's okay. Smooth, noisy. Gonna grade 8 out again. And the top is gonna be where our shadow is casted because the light is coming down this way. Honestly, to do good toon shading textures, you have to have a really good understanding of lighting, and that just takes time. Keep painting, keep dictating a light source and trying to figure out how would this look in actuality, what in real life, what would this be shaded like? And then you try to adapt it into style of what you're working on. So, hey, what's up, Zarb? Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna bring the mic a little closer. Sorry if that's a little loud. I don't know how audible I was, but I realized my mic was pretty far away from me, so I'm moving it. Gonna shadow the top a little bit here to highlight the form of it looking like it's bending a little bit like that. And we're gonna gradate up that pretty decently. There we go. Yeah, Zarb, this texturing program is worth every penny. It's so nice. I can't recommend Substance Painter enough. It's worth the $150. It's one of the cheapest 3D programs out there, and I think it's pretty freaking invaluable for what it does. Alright, we're going to paint that in there. Let's get our light back in. And we're going to be pretty heavy-handed up here where the light's going to be forming. Do it at the top here as well. Just trying our best to show connections and paint in some lighting where we can. You know, the 150 price tag is 100% worth it for this program, honestly. I can't recommend it enough. If you get the whole Substance suite, I haven't used Substance Designer yet, but oh man, does that program look good. Alright, that's a good roughen. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and we'll start cleaning these textures up. I clean up a lot of my textures in Photoshop. This is for getting the bases, but the Photoshop brush system is just way more superior than what Substance has. But Substance lets you paint directly on the model, and that in and of itself is really, really nice. So, Kakaretta, on the Town of Salem map that you're working on, did you texture the house with Substance? Trying to paint in some highlights there. Alright, that's a decent rough. I like that. And now we're going to remove all of the red from the staff. So I'm going to go select my polygon tool, or polygon paint tool, and we're just going to drag it over everything that has wood to remove any indication of the wood in the area, making sure I hit every polygon and nothing of what I actually want to keep. Texture information. This is a bad unwrap, but you know what? That's okay. Gonna do the same thing for the shadow. And the base shouldn't have any, so... Well, gotta go. I'll watch the stream tomorrow. Alright, see you around, Sari. Have a good night. Hey, what's up, Facility? How you doing, man? I just started in Blender 2 and I got 30 hours in now. Can you do a time-lapse video at some point more? I prefer learning from those. That's very fair. I may, but my time-lapse, like the time in which I work is pretty sporadic. Like I tend to, honestly, these streams have been very good for me because I'll like work for 30 minutes and go, I'm bored and work on something else, and that's frankly not good. So we'll go from there. All right, let's jump to our wizard boy. We'll worry about the staff in a bit. I just want to get some color on there since it was gray. Actually, you know what? We'll do some basic highlighting of the staff and shadowing. So we're going to take our base color, duplicate. I'm going to fill it in with a lighter color. I'm going to break the rules a little bit and go a little more saturated, and I want this to be a little more orange. I want a more woodish color, so I'm going to play around until I get that. There we go, that's pretty nice. I'm going to add a black mask here, and I'm just going to lightly paint in with a pretty big brush here, just some light indications. Just tapping a bit here and there to show some variation of the wood and not have it be completely dark. God, the Little Witch soundtrack is so good. I've been listening to this like non-stop when I'm working these last couple weeks. Alright, that's good enough. Just tapping colors. We'll move on for now. Going back to my lizard boy. Let me turn on the other layers. I don't know why they're off. Hey, Tom Marshall. How you doing, man? Box modeling is fantastic. It's not my... I actually don't do it too often. I generally do ZBrush work, and then I retopologize. That is my personal favorite thing to do. But it's still very nice. So, I'm going to duplicate the main color we have here. I'm going to switch... oh, nope. I just added a black mask. That's not what I meant to do. Duplicate the layer. We're going to select the color. I'm going to go as the eyedropper, and we want this darker green that's under his eye right now. That's what we're going to be painting in. So I'm going to add a black mask. And we're going to lightly start gradating that in. It's a pretty hard line around his eye, so I'm going to be pretty generous with the pressure I apply here. In fact, I think I'm going to just do it with the soft brush first, make sure this thing's pretty decently hard. And we'll gradate it out and smooth. But we want to get this hard shadow line we have under his eye first and foremost for sure. Oop, had a little bit of an error there. There we go. And we'll clean up as we go along, and then we got to get the top of his eye. Now this one's going to be a little harder because the shape's weird, but that's okay. We'll start removing things and cleaning that up. Alright. Let's start cleaning things up. We're going to first go to the smooth, noisy brush. And we're going to start slowly knocking this away by hitting the button a lot. For those of you who weren't here last stream, this flashing you see is every time I click the stroke, it'll hide the things I'm not painting on. So when I'm doing a lot of excessive strokes like this on my tablet, it's just me lifting up my pen. So, sorry for the flashing, but it's just a program feature. I don't think there's anything I can do to control it. So we're going to smooth this out, kind of ease the gradation just a little bit, just so it's not as hard. Jericho Gamer says more. Is it easy to create avatars? Easy? I would say yes. I think there's a lot of knowledge that requires, but once you gain that knowledge, it's just like anything. You have to put an effort to learn the basics if you want to do something, because avatars can be complex, but once you know the basics of modeling, texturing, and all that, it's not too hard. It's just a time sink. So if you dedicate enough time to anything, yeah, the things definitely become easy. Now, would I recommend characters be the first thing you try when doing 3D modeling? Definitely not. Learn the basics. Learn how to make an environmental prop first. Because if you can't make a chair, you certainly cannot make a human. Or a humanoid figure, rather. Very hard to, anyway. So, once you have a basic understanding of anatomy, you can really go a far way in making custom avatars. I would recommend, first and foremost, if you already have an avatar, try making clothes for them. If that's where you want to start making models, if you can model clothes, things that come underneath are pretty self-explanatory. But if your model's done incorrectly, like the anatomy's incorrect, the clothes are going to look really weird. So, oop, we're on takeaway still. We're going to move to white. So you got to make sure your underlying forms are very correct. Otherwise, nothing is going to look correct. So we got that nice shadow line underneath them. It also seems to be accentuated on the top of the eyelid, even though it's on the back. So I'm going to do that a little bit, breaking up this highlight. Is he really? Did you, Zarb? I haven't seen that. That's funny. I believe it's possible. You just gotta dedicate time. Also, follow model sheets. If you're new to character modeling, have a model sheet. Look up any character from like an anime or a show, and just type in their name and a model sheet or a turnaround, whatever name you want to do, and you will you'll get those. What is happening? What are these dots? Why did this happen? All right, I'll fix it. I'm actually gonna drag the highlight layer underneath, I think. Oh, that made it a little too dark. I'm gonna undo that. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take away very subtly from the recesses where we want the shadow. So it's just not as bright down there. We can really just sell the shadow a little bit more by doing this. Slightly tapping, not too much pressure. There we go. And we're going to be painting things in anyway. Also, it's mirrored on the other side, so I don't have to paint the other side as well. Or paint the other side as well. Yeah, what did you make, Zarb? Your crumpet and teacup were very cute last I saw. Oh, those are the shadows underneath. Why did that happen? What's up with my brush, man? Gross. When did these... Okay, let me clean this up. Something obviously incorrect happened. I'm going to select the default soft brush to start removing things. I'm going to go to the shadow, and we're going to go to the black, so we're removing colors. I'm going to have to go in with my soft noisy brush in the back there to really clean up those smooth edgings. Man, that sucks. What's happening? Just create the brush larger and slowly grade it out. We just don't want any hard edges. Turn on the color again. There we go. I made a plush alpaca for my lolly avatar. Oh, that's cute as fuck, Zarb. I can't wait to see that. Hey, Demon. How you doing, man? Okay. Let's get a little more detailing in. Let's paint his little spots, I think. Because once we get the spots going, I think that'll really sell a lot. So, we're going to create a new layer. He's got a couple... What we're probably going to do is a layer style here, I think. So, I'm going to create a new fill layer. I'm going to select the color. I'm going to select it to be the lightest color I see here, which seems to be that green. I'm actually going to bump it up a little more. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to set it to a black mask so it hides it. And then we're going to set this to, I'm going to try it on multiply first. Now what multiply does, these are all layer styles. These do a bunch of crazy things that unless you're a programmer and understand the math behind it, I can't really explain it too well, but I can tell you what it does. Multiply at the very least, I believe what it does is it multiplies the values of the two layers that are underneath it. Or the layers that are underneath it, and then creates an effect. But ultimately, if I just do this real quick, it should... Oh, I'm painting on black. Wait, no, I'm not. What am I doing? Why didn't that show anything? That did show something. Was I incorrect? Is it not multiply that I want? Okay, it's not multiply. It makes things darker. We want things lighter, so is it overlay that I'm thinking of? Yes, overlay is going to be a good basis. Let's see here. Let's go through the styles. We'll find one that works. Lighten. Lighten's pretty decent. The reason why we want to do this is it shows the color values underneath. So I'm just going to paint things randomly over here so I can see the transitions. And once I get the effect that I want, we'll try that. Difference is not going to be what I want. Exclusion, definitely not. What is it? Screen. Screen's what I'm thinking of. We want it to still show a little information. Maybe screen's not. That seems a little hard. Not linear burn. That's gonna. Yeah. I wish these were easier to cycle through like they are in Photoshop, but here we are. Soft light. Soft light's pretty decent. We can do that to add a lot of color. Subtle, and then we'll paint in the more detailings. I'm gonna have to do soft light at some point. Pin light though. Nope. Linear light. Linear light's good for some color effects, but I don't think that's what we're looking for. Color. That's just too pure color. Yeah, we're going to work with Lighten here. Lighten looks like it's doing what I want. So we're going to refill this black layer, or this black mask. So it deletes the paint job we did. I'm also making a staff for my eventual cactus wizard. You're actually going to make the cactus wizard? That's funny, Zarb. But hey, no need to put it off now. We're showing you how to do it. Okay, so we're just going to add spots pretty much everywhere. It is symmetrical, so if I put a dot here, it's going to put a dot over there, and I have to keep that in mind, as symmetry is a little unfortunate when it comes to this randomization style that we want here. So I'm going to be pretty generous. Let's start with the small dots. We're just going to click, larger brush than that, just click, and add these dots where we want. We're going to want one in the center to kind of just like dictate that there is a centerfold, but try not to make it look like it. Get a pretty decent sized one back here. Alright, and we're going to add a lot of tiny ones, as they seem to be scattered pretty heavily throughout. And they only stop a little bit towards the nose. Cool. Alright, so now with our lizard, you can see that the ones here are way brighter than they actually are in the photos, so we're going to just switch over to my favorite brush, the Soft Noisy, and we're going to start slowly taking things away the closer they are to the front here. So we're going to make the brush pretty big, and we're just going to keep tapping so it lightens them up. We're going to do that going up to the top, and it should make the gradation a little better here. Same thing in the back. They're pretty light going up to the top. There we go. Hey, Black Yagu, how you, or Blacky Yagu, how you doing, man? VR chat is so motivating. I never bother with any of this without it. I feel it, man. I'm a 3D character artist professionally, so this is definitely something I considered prior. But having a game that allows so much ease of access is insane. The people I've worked with, like, are honestly better than some people that I've worked with at my school, worked with professionally. Like, there are some really talented people out here. And I love the fact that they're making things for this game. I'm going to actually add some to the eyelids. There should be some up there, because he's still... I'm basically considering them like liver spots, which they will very much still be present on the eyelids, even though the eyelids will be shut most of the time. The staff is really getting in the way. Alright, and let's do the same thing we did last time, and slowly take away them on the edges. Sweet. I think everyone in the chat has grown an attachment to the Wizard Lizard from watching you make it. Hell yeah, man. Well, I can't wait. You can go find Grep in game and you can see him walk around with it. Or you can find me. I'll probably have a copy of it myself, but I'm not going to be using him too much, as I don't like to use avatars that I'm making for other people. That's half the reason people make avatar or want custom avatars, so it can be them. Alright, see you around, Gromp. Have a good one, man. Yeah, I know I started this stream late for you EU people. I'm sorry about that. But unfortunately, that's just how it landed up today for my time. Alright, we seem to have gotten a little red. Oh, let's actually just fix the red in general. We got a little bit of the red on the upper parts here, and I want to remove that. I don't want it to be touching the upper parts of the mouth. So we're just going to paint that away. And I'm going to make it pretty solidly up to, like, it may grade out, but I want the Let's get that purple. The purple's in the... is what we have in the back? Or is that the underneath? That's this part. Okay. So I'm going to make sure the full bottom of the mouth is fully... Oop, we're taking away colors. Is fully one of these purple colors, because I think the separation looks really nice. And we're going to gradate that out a little more. I'm just going to paint fully so I make sure all the colors underneath are affected by this gray. Or sorry, this red. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go to take away some. I want to take away a little bit of the pink over here. I want this to read a little bit more purple. Go back to adding. What music is this? This is the soundtrack to Little Witch Academia. Every single one of my streams has been hit with a copyright violation demonetizing it. And while I may not actually be monetized right now, it does kill it for any future monetization in the just that I can do in the future. So I kind of just given up. I'm just gonna play music I want and get these videos demonetized. I'm fine with that. This is purely for you guys anyway, so let the copyright music commence. And we're going to remove the pink back on the inside there. We may add a little bit to add some mouth detail, but we'll get there later. Going to remove it from the top of the mouth again here. I like this very clear separation. Thank you, Black Iagu. You. God, my Japanese is so bad. Yagyu. Alright, that's pretty decent. Let's add some more shadowing underneath of where it's going to be touching, or the cloak's going to be hitting there. So I think I'm going to add a very small hint of this purple. I'm going to actually switch it to a gray, which is not something I normally do, which means it's only going to add a little bit of the opacity. So we're going to paint a little bit of the shadow where the shawl's touching. We're not going to go up fully to where it is because the light will leak in, but I do want this purple to be present and visible from some angles. So we're going to press pretty hard there. His tongue's leaking out the back, but we'll fix that. Don't worry about that. Do the same thing on this side for the front. Carry it up a little more. I'm going to up the intensity just a little bit because I want it to be a more pure purple to what's there. There we go. Still not enough. Gonna lightly gradate that out. There we go. Now you can see some of the shadow. Great. And connect in the back. Awesome. We're gonna paint a little bit, just faintly, ever so faintly. That was honestly, that too much was too much. That there was too much. And I'm gonna faintly remove that again. But we want to paint a little bit of shadow suggestion underneath the chin, as that's where the light would be recessed a little bit. Is that mostly that color? That's why. Okay. I'm going to go back to this. We're going to add colors. I'm going to slightly add more to this darker purple so it covers it a bit more with the light pink. Great. And that's going to help indicate the shadows underneath the form a little more. There we go. I've never watched that show, but I've been meaning to. Zarb, it is literally one of my favorite shows. Trigger is one of my favorite animation studios in general. I haven't watched any of their new series yet because I'm not super into mechs, but I'm super into Trigger, so I will watch them anyway. But Little Witch was just so well done. It's so heartwarming, wholesome. They just do a really good job making those characters. Alright. Got the face looking good. What we got to do his nostrils. We didn't paint in his nostrils. So the nostrils, while they're black there, I don't like that. We're not going to be doing an actual black nostril. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a darker blue, I think, to make it match the color. So I'm going to create a new fill, going to select the thing, and we're going to grab this darkish blue from his leg here. Yeah, you can really see how that could work for darker colors. And we're going to add a black mask there. I'm going to drag it above all skin colors. And using the hard brush. So his, let me see some other reference that I have. Oh yeah, the Knuckles meme is completely dead, Tom Marshall. Do not worry. Wow, none of the concepts really show how close or far apart the nostrils are. I'm gonna guess based off the angle it's here and how it's gonna have to be on the other side that they're pretty close. So I'm gonna guess like here-ish. Maybe even a little closer. I'm going to switch to the default soft. I'm going to lower the opacity only to like a 0.7 here. Let me see there. That's a good... there. And they create a little curve. So we're going to do a fallen teardrop shape. Like that. I'm going to zoom in. Sorry if you ever hear me mumble. It's me having to put my pen in my mouth to go to the... to my mouse. And we're going to make it a pretty generous bubble size, because what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our smooth noisy here, and we're going to start taking colors away. There we go. We want it to leak in a little bit, showing that there could be some indentation of skin going into the nostril. Kinda just looks like a tiny little mustache. Also, it's way too low. Okay, I did that wrong. we're gonna remove him, or the mustache. I'm just gonna select a random brush that I know will delete it. All right. So his nostrils is gonna be like up here-ish. Actually, if we match the perfect angle at which the photo's at, which looks like this, and I paint it like I see in the photo, it should match on the other side where it should be in real life. Yeah, see? That's about what I expected. We'll give him a tiny little Frenchman mustache. Oh, oui, oui. Alright, I'm gonna leave that mustache while I work on the nostrils because I think it's funny. I'm gonna go with the soft noisy. I'm gonna tap these back. I'm adding colors. Shit. Undo until it's clean. Okay. Edit step forward to make that smooth again. Now we're gonna remove. So I'm gonna tap these away so they're a little lighter. And then we're going to create the same teardrop shape we were trying to do last time. Honestly, I don't think the toxicity in VRC is bad right now. Yeah, there are still Knuckles there, but they're like minimal, few and far between. If I see one, I just block them. It's very simple. But I think the toxicity in public lobbies has died down significantly. There are still here and there where it's like not great, but then you just find a new world. I still world hop all the time. I love meeting the new people that's in this game, so I think it's worth going through a few bad worlds to meet some genuinely great people. Yeah, don't go to the big places. If you avoid the major maps, like the pub, or the pug and the hub, generally less toxic people. Just find some random ass map, and it's cool. Dude, he looks suave as fuck with that little stash. Hell yeah. Alright. I also realized last time that we painted the eye highlight way too low. I painted it as it's shown here, but the eyelet's halfway closed, so the eye color should probably go up to like here-ish, and then the highlight should be underneath where we can't even see it. So I'm gonna have to fix that. But in the meantime, we're gonna focus on his body more, because that's the part that needs the most work. Alright, so let's fix this gross-ass brown that's on his stomach. That's, like, not correct. So I'm just going to select the color, I'm going to open up the color picker, and we're going to go find something that works. Probably got to do something closer to the skull's colors, honestly. Yeah, we're going to do something like that, but, like, make it darker. Maybe we do just do the same color. Yeah, we're just gonna do the same color, I think. The only reason why it's darker there is because of the shadowing that's painted in, and we may just ignore that because we don't want to paint all the shadows. Okay. Let's remove his cloak, because we're going to paint his body. That's the staff. Actually, let's just remove the staff. Why do I need the staff? It's been blocking me this entire time. There we go. Naked lizard boy. Let's finish painting up this, the stomach parts here. So we're going to go to the soft brush. Actually, I'm going to go to just the default soft, because I want this to be a pretty quick and sharp cut. But soft enough to show small indentations of gradation, or indications. God, I cannot think today. We're going to put this under the purple. Nope, not that purple. Not that purple either. Definitely not that one either. Alright, maybe we're not doing that. Only pros go in public lobbies. You're not completely wrong. We're gonna go to remove color again because this is still too soft. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this layer because that should be this color. I just pointed with my finger like you guys can see that. God, I'm a goob. I'm gonna duplicate this pink. We're going to put it above the stomach color. We're going to remove the mask that has there already. I'm going to set this to a nice, like, 0.4, and we're going to paint on top of... Nope, not with that brush. We're going to do it with a soft noisy. And just slowly paint some of that pink down into the color. Just so it's a little smoother. Gonna up it a little bit for the transition at the top. And a little more. There we go. And what's that look like with cloak on? Yeah, it's good. We want some of the color to leak down from the top. Not that much though, because it's going a little bit too close to the chest. So we're gonna remove all color from that and we're gonna start tapping that away. I'm gonna keep doing that. Oh, that's actually in the base color. Yeah, okay, that's why it's not going away. I'm going to slightly reduce that color. Steamed ham, but it's in VR chat? What the fuck are you talking about, Zarb? We're going to duplicate the base layer. We're going to make the shadow by going to a darker desaturated color. Add a new black mask. Okay, good. We did make this color go all the way under his tail, because that's what we're going to need to do. Using the soft noisy, I'm going to paint an outline around the body here, keeping it a little thicker of a brush stroke, just to show the separation. And what's great is, while this is the darker color for the green, once we get up to the shadows up here, you can see how it's vividly lighter than our purple. So while it still acts as a separation, it gradates itself from our lighter colors to our darker colors. And that in of itself is very invaluable. It's a very good texturing technique to show the separation of forms. And we're going to paint that up to the top here. Awesome. This is our purple. Cool. Alright. More, you don't know about the Simpsons themed ham meme? No, I don't. Not at all, Zarb. Nor the Fruit Loop. What maps do you go to, Zarb? You go to some freak shit. And we're going to have this seam go all the way down underneath the tail here. Gonna hide the cloak again, because we're going to have to go to the parts where it's connecting under the tail. Now, it may fall off here, so I'm not going to paint that super nice. We should probably have that go all the way. Oh, no, but the tail gets purple, if I recall. Let me see. Yeah, the turtle... Okay, so let's do that. Let's add the purpleness to the tail first, before we paint anything. So we're just going to use this purple we already have, even though it probably gets a little darker. I'm going to make this brush huge. We're just going to paint that shit purple. Purple. Flip to the other side. Oh, it actually should be mirrored here, so if I do it on the actual texture sheet, it should be good. Why is it not painting that? Come on. Get all the way purple at the tip there. Cool. Hell yeah. That's a purple-ass tail. Yeah, you go to the dark net. Jesus, Zarb. Alright, that's what I'm gonna... That's the next episode. My journey to hell with Zarb. I'm gonna add a new fill layer. We're gonna fill this color with this blue-ish color that's under his tail. This is a color we haven't used yet, so I'm gonna try to spring this out throughout a lot of the model so it seems cohesive. Add a black mask. We're gonna paint the tail. This should go under the purple because we want the purple to be on top. So we're gonna paint the rest of the tail this blue, it seems. We actually are going to go above our highlight stomach colors, it seems, because we don't want those showing. Aha! There we go. And we're going to blend this into his butt. We actually may blend this up to a lot of his back because we don't want that purple to be too strong. I'm going to paint his arm this color as well. Let's have a nice gradation between the colors. The purple got very heavy-handed there. That's not my blue. It's this purple, though. That's why we can't do that. Okay. We're going to bring these up top. Turn these back on. And I'm going to have to remove these colors from underneath is what's going to happen. So I'm going to go to my hard brush. I'm going to zoom in on that so I'm being super clean. We're just going to paint those colors away. Easy. Well, that's convenient. I just found out that my new PC should be arriving in 3 to 4 hours. It's time I'm waiting a while. Hell yeah, man! Dude, scuffed models are the best. That just means you have more to learn. And everyone has more they can learn. I've learned so much working with the VR chat community. I've learned more about shaders and coding than I ever thought I would. It's insane. Alright, let's get his legs going. So his legs are not this bright thing. They're kind of the same color as this blue, but a little lighter. So we're going to fill up the base of them with this purple, or the blue that we've done. And we're going to go from there. I'm just going to use the hard brush, because I want this... No, not that hard, apparently. We'll do the default soft, because we want these to take up pretty hard. And once we get to the parts where they connect, we can be a little more gradated and smooth with our soft. Alright, let's take our soft noisy. Smooth noisy. God, I can never remember its name. It's my favorite thing. There we go. Alright, his grundle's got a little bit of a sharpness going with that green, so we're going to have to work with that for a sec. In the meantime, I'm going to paint out all those colors. Make sure this purple and blue mix very nicely together. Alright, is that this that's causing that? Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to try to make a model from scratch, something I tried but failed on. This time I have knowledge and power. Hell yeah, you do, Zarb. If you have any questions, just let me know. That's a dono. Let me see here. It is 12:33 from Blackie Yagu, which is obviously a conversion rate. You know me. You know that I just have to do this to say goodnight to you and everyone in chat. P.S. If everything works out, I'll be in VR chat from next month as well. I thank you so much, Blackie Yagu. I can't wait to see you in the game. Make sure you you hit me up and we'll go jump around and I'll be an idiot and I'll arrest you. I can't wait to see what you make, man. I hope it's really nice. I'm looking forward to see what you do. And this is something that I extend to all of you. If you guys have any modeling questions, like you're a little confused about how to do something, or you just don't know how to approach it, ask me anytime you want. Join the Discord that we have in the chat below. We have a models discussion tab that frankly is a little inactive. I was surprised. I thought there would be more questions in there. But you guys can ask me anything you want. I'll try my best to help you. While I don't know Blender that well, I can tell you the basics, and I can tell you where you can start looking for your answers if I don't have them immediately. Alright, clean up that grundle. Cleaned it up a little too hard. Gonna have to repaint some things in here, but that's okay. Oop. Okay. Because, like, I don't really know what to do with my Discord. I kind of just have to chat and bullshit around with people, which is fun in and of itself, but I don't know why people wanted me to make one. That's another dono. Yay! Hold on. Let me finish painting up this little part right here before I forget. Oh, gotta add. We're gonna add that in. We're gonna have to clean up the line, it looks like. That's what's creating this weird look. And under here a bit more. This is my favorite song from the Little Witch soundtrack. It's so good. I'm gonna use it in every D&D campaign I play. It is $30 from Jinrai again. Damn, Jinrai, you are not sure about Wizard. He's looking more like a master of disguise with that Manhattan mustache, or with that mustache. The chameleon might suit him better. Thank you, Jinrai. That mustache, you know what? I may keep it as a separate texture. It's so stupid. You think you are the master of disguise? No. Fucking stupid. Alright. His grundle's been cleaned up good enough for now. We'll put on his cloak again. We don't want a nude boy. We want a clothed boy. Let's paint his boots a bit, because we already have the colors to do this. So I want to get his boots popping. Get him some nice kicks. Get those Jordans going. Alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, are we crashing? Oh no. Oh no, okay, it came back. Whew, I'm gonna save. Alright, go back to Smooth Noisy. Just gonna hit these with the highlight that they have, because we want them to be pretty bright. and it'll naturally create a seam on the shoe there. But again, thank you so much, Jinrai. That's so nice of you, man. You're so consistent about doing that. It's insane. Oh, stop shoving your... Is it that loud? Sorry. That's because I'm looking to my left here. When I read donos, it's on my right monitor, so I get really close to my mic. I'm sorry about that. I'll whisper more. Sorry about that. I'm also just a loudspeaker in general, so I'm sure that's not helping. We're going to paint a little bit of a fold in these boots here that we haven't modeled. So we're going to start at a sharp point, get a little larger towards the ends here, and then go off into a sharp point again. And then we're going to do the same thing above, leaving a little fold for the shadow. But this can be a little connected, and then we're going to paint a thing up there. There we go. Nice. Just ASMR whenever you read donos. Okay. I can't do a raging voice impression. That guy has a beautiful voice that is unlike any others I've heard. It's so deep. I'm going to turn on lighting by hitting M for a second here. And I'm going to just lightly paint the trim here so I can clean that up in our correct view. We don't want this to go around the entirety of the boot, but we do want it to separate the forms. There we go. And I don't think we're going to hit the back too much because it's under the cloak. So I'm going to hit C again to go back to my colored view. Man, that actually painted itself pretty nicely. And we're going to clean up these edges. I mean, if I want to do the full raging voice thing, I just turn up my gain really high, and I go real close to the mic and just go black. Alright, there we go. The boots are looking good. I really like watching you, but I feel lazy to retype my compliments, so you should tell me if you saw it or not. Did you read up? The wizard lizard is known as... Oh, God. Argon, why do you do this to me? Your tongue twisters. The wizardly lizard, known as the Lizard Wizard, seems to be just ready to show his magical self in the virtual world. Thanks more for letting me, for letting us witness this. Thank you, Argon, man. Zarb. Yeah, you guys didn't know I was having a guest stream tonight. Wow. Nah, Raging's a good dude. I'm sad he doesn't play VR chat anymore, but I can't fucking blame him. And we're going to paint the highlight a little heavier there. Because again, more folds are better than no folds. Alright, that's pretty good. We're going to go to the clean... Actually, you know what? Hold on. That's a weird speck dot that's happening. So let's smooth that out. I'm going to go to the remove brush, and I'm going to just tap the edges away here. Creating a little more of a shadowed form on the base. Did we put a lip on his shoe? I think we put a lip on his shoe. We definitely put a lip on his shoe. So I'm going to paint that with a bright version of the highlight. Because form separation. Dun, And the shadow from the bottom of the shoe will act as a way to separate the forms, because darkest darks next to lightest lights create the effect you want. I'm gonna let it die off a little bit as we get farther away, not pushing as hard. What happened here? I don't want this. Why did this go down? What did I do? Everything go up here. I want good bars. Don't export me to Photoshop, please. I'm not ready for that. Hella. There we go. Hey, look, a cutie is streaming. I didn't think you were streaming, Yell. What's going on? I didn't know you streamed. Alright, and once we get the trim on the inside, we're going to be even less with this because this is mostly underneath. I'm going to go back to shaded view, and look at that. You can now clearly see the lip of the boot once we... Hold on, let me hit F. F will recenter the camera to the default position. And while subtle, you can see that from a distance, and that's what we want. We wanted those lips of the shoe to show since we modeled them. Yeah, I know I'm smooth, Yell. I know. Alright. Let's fix the colors in his chest. Because they're kind of that... I don't know, it's weird. I don't like that the light green is only really present in the face, so I may bring that out more throughout the rest of the body. I don't know, though. Actually, let's do the light blues, or the light blues of the legs first. So we've already created this blue. We're going to duplicate this. I'm going to raise it above the shadows here. And I'm going to add a white mask because I want to see everything first. And I'm going to switch this color to be that light blue that we have there. And we're going to add the black mask. And now we're going to slowly paint that in to indicate highlights and form changes. I'm going to hide his clothes. Just light, light, light. We're going to do a little bit of a crotch seam because light will catch a little bit of that. And we're going to gradate that out. Bring that up a little higher than you would normally think, just to accentuate those forms. I'm going to bring this light into the upper parts, I think. I think that's what's going... I think that's what this is missing. Or what's going to tie things together better. I'm gonna knock that back and slowly smooth that out more. Alright, looking good. More Bana. I'm going to turn that back on, and we're going to pull these colors a little bit out here. Just so the legs have a place that they can meet up and connect. That was too heavy. Going back to removing. There we go. Cool. Put his clothes back on. How's that look? Yeah, it ain't bad. That's kind of what we're looking for here, I think. I'm going to do the same thing for his arms, then. Oh, hold up. It doesn't seem like the blue got onto the back parts of his arm. I'm removing color. There we go. We're going to paint his entire, up to his wrist, this color. So I can start indicating things otherwise. lightly so we can make the form three-dimensional. We're going to paint that into the purples here. Let's see how that looks. It's not too bad. There we go. Hella. Alright, and his hands are that blue as well, but we got to get all the spots on his hands, and that's going to be the hard part here. Mora's been practically shipped with everyone and everything. Hey, I'm a good port. My docks may, my ports may be wide and have room for a lot of ships, but, you know, whatever. We're going to paint his hands this color too. You know what? I'm just going to bring out the hard brush. I'm going to go hard. Commit. See, that looks like rim light. Unfortunately, that's not rim light we want. So, bye-bye. And we'll start painting these colors back in with the correct light color. Alright, I'm going to turn on shaded view by hitting M a little bit more so I can see things a bit better. I'm going to go back to my soft noisy. Smooth noisy. Get it one of these days. I'm going to only lightly indicate the shapes of these fingers in this view. Very rough, just a couple strokes. Draw the indentation of where the knuckles would be. And then just pat the entire hand with the lighter color a little bit. Now when we jump back to our preview mode, I can at least have the indication of what the forms I want them to look like. And we can start painting the full details here. So, he has regular human joints. So this is going to be separated into 3 parts. So I'm just going to grab a random brush so I can show this real quick. The first bone's going to be like here. The second bone's going to be like here. And the third bone's going to connect into the wrist there. Something like that. So I'm going to want to indicate these knuckles pretty clearly at those main points. So we're going to do nice highlights at the knuckle joints. So that's going to create that bone, and that bone. And these highlights are going to be our main indication of the anatomy that we didn't really model in, because we didn't have to. We can indicate it solely through textures. Sweet. There we go. Gonna go up to this. Awesome. If more started to harm, I'd leave hints and join that one. Wow! Shade thrown at hints. I don't believe in harms. Everyone is my love. There we go. Great. And we're just going to... What color are his tips? None of the same color. They don't really change. So we're just going to do our standard highlighting. Going down the middle. Just making sure the knuckles are a little larger than the other side. Or than the parts going through them. We want these to be wider and these a little thinner. But have them smoothly connect. Alright, now the hands are looking a little gray underneath, so we're going to try to fix that. Now the thumb only has 2 joints. Compared to the 1, 2, 3 points, it's only going to have the 1, 2... Well, actually, hold up. It's 2 bones, practically. You have one that goes like here, and then one that goes here. So we're only going to paint 1 knuckle color here. It's going to be on the side. And then gradate things out. We're going to need to add a lot more colors to the hands, I think, because they're looking very gray, and gray does not look good on models. It looks dead. We don't want a dead lizard boy. We want a healthy lizard boy. Moore's married to the law. You're damn right I am. Wow, let view does not work well for me here. So I'm going to just do this based off what I know of anatomy. So the wrist is broken up into 3 parts. You have the one chunk here, the one chunk that goes up to the pinky, and then there's the other part. So I'm just going to lightly, in this view, I can't really see, draw these parts in, and we're going to paint them in. Cool. So now when I go to this, yeah, that's about right. God, I'm glad I can just draw things in the dark. I'm gonna add the palm of the hand. Drag that up to the thumb. And we're gonna highlight the balls of the finger. Slowly grade that out. We want to keep the shadow here a little bit. And we're probably going to paint it in with a new shadow color because I really hate this gray. And we're going to blend the seams of the wrist a little better. Going to leave that pocket a little gray. I think that's fine. I think that looks good. There we go. The other part is the true Italian scientific name, or the Latin root of it. It's also known as, there's about 64 bones in the wrist here that I don't want to talk about, so I section them off into 3 parts. Hey, Nerfy, what's up, man? How you doing? We're painting our lizard boy. If you're just tuning in, we're going to finish him up today. We added some of his spots. We gave him a stupid little mustache I forgot about until right now. And we're gonna go from there, making sure we're gonna try to get him to looking like this as much as possible. But right now we're working on hands, which are a process in of themselves. Let me tell you. So we're gonna lightly just smooth these out more. I may have to bring in brighter highlight colors to really separate the fingers. Oh, we switched to the Kill la Kill soundtrack, it seems. Hey, that's good. Just as good. I like the soundtrack well. Just ended my stream, so I wanted to drop by and see how it was going. Hey, well, thank you, man. Thanks for tuning in. How'd your stream go? Were you just playing VRC, or what were you doing? Okay. Awesome, man. Oh yeah, dude, congrats on fucking 10K. That's insane. Got the big numbers now. So what I'm doing here is, you can see, fingers are fat. They all have a lot of bumps and lumps to them. And making those lumps come out where we can are going to be very important for making this character look real. So, just by doing that, you can see the underparts of the hand, actually. Wow, that came out way better than I thought. I just did that really quick, damn. Okay. Huh. I'm going to smooth out the gradation of this a little bit better. The pinky's lump should be much bigger than the other part, so... Alright, let's get the thumb painted in. Was that a celebratory stream, Nerfy? I didn't see you were streaming, otherwise I would have tuned in myself before I started. Better go hit that bell icon. Yeah, go, dude, go subscribe to Nerfy. He's so fucking insane. I love him. He's one of my favorite people in VR chat. Despite being the creepy little pervert that he is. No offense. We're going to duplicate this layer. We're going to lighten it up. And we're going to add a black mask here. And we're going to start painting in even brighter highlights. And we're going to highlight these knuckles again with this lighter color. We're going to bring this lighter color into the legs as well, since we don't have it anywhere else. And it's not really good to just have one color in one area. We're going to mainly highlight these knuckles with this, I think. Slowly bend that out. There we go. We're going to slightly indicate this at the mounds of the hands, just so there's more lighting information. And there we go, we added more color to the other part. There we go. Not bad. Our lizard boy has some detailed ass hands. Which is honestly good, since that's where almost all the detail is on our in VR chat games. Or in VR games are your hands. I'm actually going to knock these back a little bit. The knuckles are a little bit too pronounced with that new color. I'm going to tap them back up there too. Man, I forgot how sick the Kill la Kill OST was. It's so good. Alright, let's paint in these highlight spots. So we're going to go grab our soft brush again. And we're going to just start painting these in. Since they're symmetrical, it's going to paint on the other side. What is that white dot? Alright, I got to fix that later. We're going to start painting in these little blotches where we can. So not being too clean, but just trying to add variation where there isn't, where I can. And we're going to carry these farther than they actually go on the model, because we're going to do the same thing we did for the head and slowly remove them the farther they are from the light. And how far do they go? They actually go over his entire body, so I'm going to make sure these speckles are pretty high, at least not as condensed. Be back soon. I need to hook up my monitor and stuff so it's ready. Yeah, have fun, Tom. I hope you enjoy your new computer. That sounds insane. Alright, make that smaller. Alright, now we're going to go start removing colors by removing it to black. We're going to go to our smooth noisy and slowly gradate those out from the main highlight source, making sure that there's just a very clear gradation. We're going to make these top ones like near invisible, but just enough there to indicate that, yeah, his body's entirely speckled. Inside of the legs really need this as well, because the light's not going to be there. We want the ones to show the most are going to be the ones that are in the light the most, so that looks about right. It's not bad. Yeah, our lizard's coming out great. I'm actually really happy with him. Does his stomach have speckles? His stomach has speckles. Alright, let's add those. Actually, I need to add shadowing first to the stomach. So it's so weird that it's pink up here, but pink nowhere else. I don't like that. I need to sprinkle in that pink somewhere else on the body. It's a little pink under the tail. Maybe that's where I do that. But why does it go to this yellow then? Maybe we don't make the stomach yellow. Maybe we make it red. I'm going to have to talk to the person who's commissioned this model and see what he thinks, because I may radically change how this guy looks. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think yellow belly would be better, or if I change this to like a more of a closer red, do you think that looks better? In the meantime, I'm going to just keep adding spots on his arms. and his hands. I'm going to duplicate this. Since this is affecting the highlights in the hands, I don't want them to also affect a place where I'm going to be adding spots. So I'm just going to duplicate the layer and then add a black mask. I'm going to dictate by naming the layer that these are hand spots, just so I don't forget later. Yeah, just the way it transitioned is just very bizarre. But it looks good in there, so it doesn't matter if it works in real life or not. That's the entire point of character design, is where can you break the rules? No Knuckles in my chat, I am sorry. None of that, please. I don't enjoy this meme, so I do not like that. I will remove this comment. I don't mind if you're here, man, but I hate the Knuckles meme, so none of that here, please. There we go. It's not bad. He looks like a little psychedelic boy with all these dots. I'm going to add more around the hands because I think that's important. They have him on his actual fingers. His fingers look clean, so I'm not going to go that far. And now we're going to do the same thing, go into our smooth, noisy. I don't want something like that, whatever the lyrics are. And we're going to remove them. Now, while realistically these are in the same amount of the light as the ones on the forearms, remember that these are going to be under the cloak. So we don't want these to show up as much as the ones that are in the light. So we're going to tap those out a little more than the others. But Mr. Spots over here, oh, he's got it going. Look at him. Yeah, it's looking nice. Okay, what can we do now? I'm gonna sprinkle in... His body looks radically different from the head, unfortunately. So we're gonna sprinkle in this base color a little more throughout the body. And we're gonna bring this blue up here as well. So we're gonna duplicate this layer. I'm gonna drag this above everything. We can bring back, do it. We are crazy busy. And I'm just gonna tap this color throughout a little bit. It's another highlight color at this point. I actually probably shouldn't do it on the underarm. I don't know what I'm doing. They want to hold you. Good looking. Don't say that. It's really better. Yeah, that's actually looking pretty good. It has a nice transition color. It added warmth into our cold colors that we needed. I can add this into the fingers as well. Alright. Let me bring that up to the edge of the thumb. Let me suck it. Alright, I think I'm gonna go. Getting tired and got stuff to do. Alright, Mitchy D, have a good one, man. Peace. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Alright. I'm gonna bring that color into the legs as well, just to bring this throughout. A little heavy there. I'm gonna remove what I just did. Shrink the brush size and try to gradate that into the purple a little better. I don't like those strokes at all. I don't think that looks good. Alright, we're probably going to keep it off the body, the main upper party there. And we'll just do a little highlight at the bottom. Alright, let's bring that blue into the head because I think it really is needed. So this is our base blue? Yeah. We're going to slowly bring that in places. We're going to break color contrast here. So we're going to bring in colors that aren't actually in the concept, just to make the model more cohesive. I'm going to add these under the eyes here a bit. And try to gradate that into the shadow colors we've already established. That looks really nice for highlighting the eye, or the shadow in the eye. That separation of forms looks really nice with this color. We're gonna do a little bit under the lip. And we're going to make that a little wider and softer. Now I'm gonna remove some of the color from the lip here because it's too much there. You want it to almost gradate as if it didn't exist there, but just slightly indicate that the form curves down a bit. There we go. Caboose wants me to say hi. Well, tell Caboose I said hi, Aragon. So is this cute little fucker from a game show or something, or is he completely original? I didn't make him. This is the only thing we have of our boy right now, is this little piece of concept art drawn by Axbrawn. I know he's a Tumblr. He does a lot of D&D lizards, which I like a lot. So that's what we're working with right now. Alright, I think it's time that, unfortunately, our wizard boy shaves a little bit, because I have to get to the coloring of the nostrils and whatnot, and I want to make sure that all really works. So, time to shave, boy. No, he doesn't want to shave? Why are you not shaving? There we go. I know he's a Tumblr. Fuck you, Sarv. I know he's on Tumblr. Speaking's hard. Alright, we're going to transition this hard shadow a little bit more onto that layer we had up top. Was it this color? Nope. Was it this color? Yeah. We're going to blend that into the other colors a little better, so it's just not as hard. And we're going to go pretty hard on this underlying color because we want this to act more like a stroke under the grayish green that we've already done. Alright, and let's see here. He's got a nice rim light there, which we can't really paint in. That's going to have to be left up to the lighting engine. But we can paint a little bit. Actually, I don't know if I want to accentuate his nose any more than it already is. Okay. He does have spot on his tails, though. We haven't done the tail spots. So let's get on that. This was our spots for the arms? Yeah. It's also going to be the spots for the tail. Okay, that was, whatever I just did was a mess. I'm gonna remove the cloak. Now this is the only problem with the tail, is that it's really closely symmetrical, so it's very obvious when something's done incorrectly. So I'm going to try my best to elude that away. And give it enough shape so it doesn't look as symmetrical as it actually is. But that's hard. Alright. And his tail is pretty pure dark, so we're now just going to gradate like we did with all the other spots. And by that, wait, soon our lizard boy will leave home and go off to his own world. And by that, he'll go live in Zexy's house. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen soon. He'll go over there and he'll be able to move soon. Guys, I think our wizard lizard is near completion. We're getting there. That went a lot faster than I was thinking. How long are we at right now, stream-wise? I was anticipating this to be at least 4 hours, but we're only at 2. Interesting. Okay. Hell. Well, I still have to finish up the staff, and I have to finish up the eyes. So, we got time. In fact, let's fix the eyes right now, because if you recall, I said they're not correctly positioned, and that is 100% true. I'm going to hide the body here. I need to see the eye like it's fully opened. I'm going to just fill the highlight back in because it's incorrectly placed, and this color we're gonna paint more with the soft default brush, and that goes up to about a little over halfway of his eye. So I'm gonna say like here. And that goes all the way to the edge, so I'm going to make sure that happens. And we're going to go back to our soft, noisy. And barely gradate these edges out so they're just not as sharp and hard. There we go. The song in Kill la Kill I don't think ever played, but it's in the OST. Oh, this has a little dip. I forgot about the dip. Okay, let's paint that dip in. I don't know this soundtrack like I thought I did. Come on, no one can take you dance for baby. In the neck, we have homework due tomorrow. No good day went out by sorrow. Oh, I actually didn't mean to remove colors there. I wanted to add. There we go, just smooth that out again. It's wild seeing him go from like a circle to the beautiful baby boy. Yeah, I know. That's modeling though. It's crazy what you can do. And I love it. I love having characters come to life. Like, that's why I love doing what I do. Put the body back on and see. Oh, that's right, we can't see. So I'm just going to assume this is going to be correct. I'm going to make this more egg-shaped because I think it's more appealing than just a circle. cool. I'm gonna assume that looks good until rigging comes in. We may have to change that. Look how big his fucking eyes are. Jesus Christ. Characters' heads are this size. Jesus. So his eyes are looking a little grayed out right now, but that's fine. His eyes will almost never be in this position. This is set up like this only for rigging. I'm sorry, brother. I leave. Alright. See you around, man. Like, I don't mind if you stay in chat. I just don't like the whole brother and way meme. It's not my thing. It's annoying. What is happening to his eyes there? That's a weird bump. Did we do that? Huh. I'll go look into that. Alright. Fix the eyes? Let's paint that staff. Okay, well, first and foremost, coming back to this, gross. This red is so vibrant. It's not good. It's not the colors I like. So we're going to change that up. And this is the great part, is now that you've already painted everything, we can just alter it. So I'm going to choose this base color. I'm going to go select, like, a red from the staff. And we're going to brighten it up a little bit, because it is brighter than its normal color. Select the darker color. I'm just going to select our base. And then we're going to add it, make it more dark. Same thing for the highlight. Sing it loud. Fa la 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 la. I'm going to break the rules and saturate that highlight a little more. Fa la 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 la. There we go. There we go. That looks way more in color scheme. Alright, let's paint wood. Wood is hard. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that. Painting wood grain is very interesting. Some of the best wood grain that I've seen is in World of Warcraft. They do painted wood very, very well. Let me... Like, if I just take over this Google image page, you can... Their texturing of how they do this is so well done to create forms. And they have to do this. So we're going to try to do something similar in this vein. They have help of doing things like with Substance Painter and stuff like that. But we have... Or sorry, not Substance Painter, ZBrush. But we're going to try to emulate this wooden grain effect the best we can on something that's significantly lower poly. So... That's going to be the challenge we have to face right now. Alright. Let's get going on that. So how do we start that? This is going to be a work in progress. Like, I've painted wood too much myself. I've painted in digital paintings, but never a texture. This is going to be a first for me. So let's start out with a shadow color. There's a lot of colors in wood. Lots of greens, purples, reds to get that color effect going. But we need to keep things simple. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. This is going to be my wood grain shadow color. So I'm going to make that a little darker. I'm going to make that a little more red. And I'm going to add a black mask to that. And with this, I'm going to slowly indicate things with the default soft brush. We'll start just painting in these squiggles. Oh yeah, no, totally, Zarb. I do that all the time. I love looking at a game and going, I know exactly how they did that. Like, it's such a good feeling. So we're going to want this to spiral a lot because this is a magical staff and spirals are very mystical. That's just shape design. So we're just going to put the brush to about this size and we're just going to paint these in. Keeping things random, sporadic, have them loop into each other. We want these above the highlight for right now. Because we're going to be painting things in. I know the clouds from Wind Waker use a very similar method in terms of creating this stylistic look. And we're going to try to emulate that the best of our ability. Seems the unwrapping didn't go too great on that corner. Oh, that's because it's in that deep section there. Knew that was going to cause me issues. Now, you want to draw circles like this occasionally because wood has knots in them all the time. And you have to show that to for things to be looking accurate and correct. Oh man, our UVing did not go as great as I thought for this. We're just going to keep turning around until our staff is nice and fully covered. And the staff is not mirrored. Oh god, that wrapping is horrid! It's okay, we'll paint it out. We'll make it look the best we can. Is it just the parts underneath here? Oh, that entire part of the UV sheet is corrupted. Or not corrupted, just badly folded in on themselves. It's right there. Shit. Alright, we'll work with it. Yeah, Kakaretta, I want to die. I've never painted wood before. This is interesting. Stylistic wood is not easy, it turns out. God, getting the spiraling effect on the staff is interesting. Because I know these spirals are going to be like a key component for getting this wood to work and look nice. God, much respect to you, Kakaretta, with your Town of Salem house. Oh, we have too many spirals in that area, so I'm going to curve that in, try to blend that better. Oh my god, how does... Oh, this got difficult. Well, you seem to know how to do it, just lines and knots. Yeah, lines and knots are the key thing for trying to get wood to look like wood. I'm going to start with the wood graining first, and then we're going to do highlights and stuff like that. It's the first time I've ever painted wood textures before. I've done digital paintings, as I said, but nothing texture-wise yet. God, this UV error is making me upset. I thought I did this right. Bad. We're gonna have to fix that. I'm back, but I say my appeal. Someone just showed up to my house to get even. Oh shit, that's not good, dude. I gotta go, more. Good luck with your painting the boy. Alright, see you around, Zarb. Thanks for tuning in, man. guess we just try to avoid the errors. It's all along this seam right here. That's the part that's fucked, because that shapes up faces. Guess we hide that. Oh man. It's not too bad, but I'm sad that it's happening. Okay. Let's work with that. How does that look? Not too bad for the start. Let's throw that under the highlights again and see how that looks. Highlights are too broad. We can't be doing that. So we're going to be painting things back on top. I'm back. Everything is looking good. Just need the PC to complete the set. Hell yeah, Tom. Alright. Let's bring in a wood grain highlight. So we're going to duplicate the highlight we already have, but we're going to change the colors just a little bit above it. We're going to add a white mask so we can see everything. We're going to add more red to these ones. We're going to add a black mask now. Now we're going to highlight what we can with the smooth noisy here. This is also going to hide how we're going to try to hide these errors. Is gradations and highlights. Make sure this is above everything. Yes, okay. There will always be mistakes in the model, and frankly I could probably go back and try to fix this, but we're so far along that I kind of just want to finish our boy up. Only in the rain again of you. And we're just trying to highlight the edges a little bit with this. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be accurate. Just enough to... Do you love me? Still wait for me. And this is going to make the wood look more rich, and that's what we're trying to do here, is trying to add the color variation that is in wood to the best of our ability. Out on the floor. Oh shit, sorry, I bumped my mic, that's going to be really loud. So you can tell us anything more about the D&D thing you had mentioned with the new Moore outfit? I absolutely love the idea. Never played D&D, but I've wanted to watch some of it. It seems like so much fun. Yeah, totally. So, I haven't done anything for it full yet because I've been pretty busy with school. But it's definitely something I want to do. I've written many campaigns before because I love DMing. I think it's great to tell stories. Stories are one of my favorite things, and it's why I like to make characters. I love trying to tell their story at a glance, and that in itself is of a challenge. So I thought, what better place to do that than VRC, a game where you can import anything you want, anything you can do into the game to play a D&D session. I've made some great friends here, and the game's largely based around role-playing since it's barely a game as it is, so I figured D&D was a perfect setting for this. So I'm going to reboot one of my old campaigns that I've done for my family back home and my friends, called Sky Isles and Deep Seas. It is a ghost-based campaign where the group of adventurers have to travel into the dark depths below from their sky isle and find out what these ghostly abominations are doing and why their island is falling. So, little spoiler preview is the story begins with the sky isle sinking, and they are on a timed schedule to try to save their homeland or have it be perished and consumed by the dark depths below. So, it's a little bit of a goofy campaign. It's a fun campaign. I do like seriousness, or sort of comedy in my serious campaigns. That's something I really try to accentuate. I love doing voices, so there's going to be a lot of characters. I'm going to be borrowing a lot of my favorite characters from all the campaigns that I've played throughout my lifetime and try to splice them in here. But I want to make a bunch of models, I want to make a bunch of props, and I'm going to live act and roleplay all the NPCs that our players will be meeting, and so on and so forth. So I can really just embody the full acting, and you can physically see the forms anymore. It's not left up to your imagination. We can fully bring them into this game. So, for the cast so far, what I want to do is I've asked Nerfy, Ash, Zixi, and Kurohei are the 4 people I've asked so far if they're interested. They've all said yes, so I'm planning them on being the cast. I think 4 is the perfect amount for VR chat. Anything more, I think things get a little hectic. So I'm going to try to set that up sometime when I have a little more break. Probably during my spring break, if I'm honest. Which should be pretty soon, honestly. But I'll have to look into that for specifics. But yeah, I think that's going to be pretty fun. That's what we have planned so far. People are fighting your dad? What? Hold up. I'm so interested. Is it classical fantasy, i.e. elves, swords, and such, or some other setting? I love classical fantasy. Classical fantasy is my personal baby, so I will always do classical fantasy if I have that option. We're probably going to be playing Pathfinder as the system. So we may have some extended classes like Artificers and Technomancers if they want to do that. But that's going to really depend on what they choose. Honestly, I'm a little against third-party things because their balancing is pretty garbage sometimes. So it'll all just depend. We'll see. But in the meantime, going back to the texturing, we're just painting in these grains more. And if I zoom out here, you can see that we've gotten it on the top part, and you can see the wood looks way healthier. And after we do that, we're only going to have to paint in the highlight shadows, or sorry, the highlight layer, where it's going to overcover the wood grain seams a little bit. And that's going to add a lot. There we go. Speaking of D&D, have you ever watched a show called Harmon Quest? Yes, I love Harmon Quest. It's so fucking good. I'm hoping for similar scenarios like that because I like that comedy. Dan Harmon does such a fantastic job playing his character, and their DM, while very literal and harsh with his judgments, adapt to the group very, very well to bring in exactly what that group needs to function as a good group. I love watching D&D podcasts. I love watching Critical Role and seeing what Matt Mercer can do. I love his voice acting for his characters. I'm very envious of it. And I would like to aspire to one day be able to do voices like him. But I only can do so many voices. But I will bring in characters that I know I can do. One of my favorites from a campaign that we've played in the past is a character called Ga. Now, this is a race of people that have... Well, I don't want to say too much for spoiler reasons, but his race has been tainted, and he's a giant rock guy, and God talks very simply. He comes from a people that the race is called Musclodons. They are a race that pride themselves on strength, honor, and fighting. But Ga was never accepted too much by their people, as Ga wasn't the strongest, he wasn't the toughest. But God, does he have a heart?
and his heart is what sets himself out. So Ga is just very good. I haven't done Ga's voice in so long. But Ga talks like this. Ga is ready to fight. I don't know. He talks very literal. He's a good comedy relief character, and that's what I love about him. I'm gonna definitely bring him into this campaign, if not make him a focal point character. So my dad just got broke the front yard and section of the street. What the? What is happening, Zach? I gotta work on my Ga voice again. But the Muscledons are just a great race that I can't take credit for them. I didn't invent them. Corey, you guys should know him by this point. Corey created that race for a campaign that he ran, and I loved them so much that I've included them in some of my own campaigns. I'm going to make the wood grain on the main part of the staff a little larger, a little looser. Just because I'm lazy. And plus, it doesn't need to be as detailed. The top part can speak for itself in terms of looks. I'm going to hide everything but the staff so I can just center on this. I'm back. What have I missed? A lot, probably. Yeah, you definitely missed a lot. We're wrapping up our Wizard Lizard. He's almost done. We're just painting the wood right now, and then I have to wait to talk to the commissioner and see what he thinks. So I'll show you Wizard Lizard in just a second. Let me finish painting in this wood grain is what we're doing right now. So since you missed a little bit there, wood grain is just very spirally. It curves in on itself a lot, and you want to accentuate these curves by drawing the wood grain that way. It does a lot to selling the realism of the wood, even in a stylized format. Alright, see? That's not too bad. But yeah, if I turn these on, here's our little Wizard Lizard boy right now. He's got his spots, he's got his cool looks. And yeah, we're going from there. I'm actually really happy with how the wood's looking like in certain areas. I may have to fix the wood grain in some of these where I can, but like right there, I think that looks really nice. Playing Bard would be fun. I just like the idea of all my companions fighting for their lives while I pop a squat in my little loot and say, don't worry guys, I got this. Yeah, no, totally. Bards are very interesting. I'm a huge advocate that if you're going to play a Bard, you better have that instrument and play it yourself. Because I think that's funny. Especially when someone who can't play the instrument, they just try their best. And yeah, especially with VRC, I'm curious what people are going to play. If I'm going to have to guess, I'm really feeling that Nerfy's going to play a rogue. Ash is going to be a sorcerer, based on her pure love of magic, and bringing in these insane particle effects. Zexy may also want to be a rogue, but he could be a bard. I haven't talked to him too much about his character preferences or if he's played. And Kurohei's never played before. He has no idea how to play D&D, and I love having fresh people. It's very interesting to see what they do. It's very fun to break them into the world of role-playing for things like that. So I have no idea what Kurohei would be. Hopefully it's a healer, because we're going to need a healer in that group. I'm willing to guess. But it's okay. If we go in a group with no healers, I always provide healing items and stuff like that, because I don't want to just ruin the game because I had to force someone to play what they didn't want to. That's never fun. So it just means healing's done differently in this campaign, in this world. I adapt if I ever reboot a campaign like I am right now. I always modify it for the play group. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to see what they like, how they need to be DM'd, what type of players they are, and we're going to go from there.
There we go. Make it maybe a big tank class would be good and easy for new players. Harder to get killed that way, I imagine. I'm never vicious. I'm not a mean DM. My goal, there's a lot of DMs out there that is their goal is to kill their players and punish them when they mess up. That's not me. I'm here to tell a fun story, and I will never kill you outright unless it's you're asking for it, or if the dice just hate you. If the dice hate you, I may kill you, but I may not kill off your character. I may have a way for you to revive them. It really depends, because I know how attached people are. New players, it sucks. It sucks if you just don't know what you're doing and then you just get killed off because you made a mistake because you didn't understand how the system's played or something like that. So what I generally do is I'll let you play whatever you want. I'll accommodate. I'll generally make things easier for you. But in terms of simplicity, for new players, I'm definitely looking for a class that the spells and the abilities aren't confusing. There's a lot of players or races and classes out there that just make things super complex for no reason. So obviously I'm probably not going to recommend those too much to the new players. So a fighter does fit that role, but not for the reason you would say in terms of how I DM. Having those extra health points to play with is definitely nice for the new players. But it's mostly trying to get your abilities to work effectively and see where you can go with them. I think that's one of the hardest things. Alright, that's pretty good for the wood grain. The key parts are spiraled perfectly, and the other ones are hidden into each other on the smaller sections. So I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. Let's save our boy out. Alright, let's add that bright highlight that we did on the top layer. Cool. We're gonna paint things in. Oh, not with that brush. Now, that may not be bad later, but for right now we need that soft noisy to just add a soft transition of highlights and colors. More than music playing goes to the D&D talk. Hell yeah, it does. I love using music from other games and stuff to really sell it. And I'm definitely gonna find a way. I want to work on a map, or at least a way that I can have all the D&D things I want. Like having a way to read my notes, having a way to be able to change the music on the fly to anything I want. It's gonna be pretty interesting, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. To talk with some map makers that I know and figure out the details there, because I was originally planning on just using the Great Dogs D&D map, but I don't know if that's going to have everything that I want. So it's a big project, and I don't want to really play music over my mic. I don't think that's going to sound nearly as good. I'd like it to be map based, but with the audio bug that may also be hard. So I don't know. At the very least, that's 100% something I'm going to stream, because I think that sounds awesome and I would love to do it. It's going to be a shorter campaign, which the original Sky Isles and Deep Seas campaign was not made for, but I can adapt it to get key story elements happening faster. And we'll go from there. Alright, we are almost done with our boy, guys. I'm going to be a little heavy-handed down here at the base because we do need these colors to show up. And we have room for a little bit of mistakes. Actually makes things look more natural. Cool. Our wood staff, guys. Painted in a WoW-esque style, or at least an attempt to. So, one last thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new highlight layer as well. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to
add a white mask. We're going to change this to be radically different. We're going to make this color way more yellow and brighter in the highlight. So we're going to probably fill this with a black mask. And these are going to be our bright highlights of where the light's going to catch the top. And we're just going to tap. We're just going to tap this in at the top to add a little bit of highlight. And we're going to just tap it throughout the staff a little bit down here. And I'm going to see how this looks like. Yeah, overlay does a nice little highlight job there. Nope, not overlay. We want it to cover the grain a little bit. Screen? Screen's good. And we're going to lower the opacity of this just a little bit to make it a little softer transition. And there's our wood staff, guys. Alright, what else can we do? There's still the stomach issue, but I need to talk to our guy first for that. But I think our wizard lizard looks pretty dope. Oh, we need a little bit of highlights in the back of the boots here. Just lightly. We're going to want this little shadow line to show shape of the form and stuff like that. So that's still pretty good. I'm also going to duplicate this base layer with a cloak, and we're going to make it a little darker and a little more saturated. I'm breaking rules here. And I'm going to add a black mask. I'm going to hide the body. And I'm going to paint the inner inside a darker color here so things gradate out a little better. We're also going to clean up these bright inside parts that I obviously mispainted by mistake. We're going to push the color a little more purple. There we go, because we want that little bit of a... It's almost a glow on the inside that we're looking for here. The reason why we're doing this is this creates a little more mystical look, which is what this guy's all about. And it's a healthier color. Because the red's a little gray, so now when I throw the body in there, it just separates the forms a little bit. It gives it a little brighter, more healthier glow. And I'm going to hide the body again, and we're going to remove these bright patches that we have here. Orange, or is it this orange? Yeah, it's this orange. Okay. Cool. And now when we put the body back, there it is. Do you prefer DMing or just a player? The thought of DMing keeps keeping everything in order and running smoothly seems pretty daunting and stressful. It is. It's hard to say. Nothing's worse than when you're playing a campaign and you don't care about your character, and I've had that happen a couple times. At the very least, if that ever happens when you're DMing, you can just create up a new character on the spot and kill or remove the last character. That's what I like. What the fuck is going on in your house, Zach? So, yeah, there's a lot of good things that you can do with that, being a player and a DM. I like both, honestly. I would probably say I like DMing more, but it is very stressful. It's way more casual just to jump in and play a character than it is to try to get a game going. But I've written 5 campaigns with huge worlds that have all their campaigns are set to be played out over an entire year, if not more. But yeah, guys, I can't fix the belly issue until I talk to Grep. But I think we did it. I think our wizard lizard's textured. What do you think, guys? Do you think we're done? I'm not seeing too much more. Little touch-ups here and there, like under the arm. I may touch that up real quick. But I think we got a lot happening done. What color is that? That it's... Oh, that's just the actual color, okay. And this is the blue that we want. Got you. Very cute little boy. Alright, I'm going to fix up this minor little thing, and I think we're going to call it. I think we did it. There we go. Easy. Alright, everyone. We're going to do one last thing. We're going to test these real quick in Unity. So I'm going to save the file. I'm going to export these out for their textures after it's done saving. So we're going to go to export textures. I'm going to dictate the folder of where I want it. Oh, let me go back. I'm going to create a new folder named Textures. Typing with one hand, forgive me. Select folder, and we're going to export these all as 2048s because I'm an insane man. Cool. Alright. Let me reset up my desk a little bit so I can do Unity work. Sorry if things get a little loud. I'm going to be moving things. I'm going to move the mic right now, which is, I know that one gets loud. Do you save or save as or just save? For Substance, I just save. You don't need to increment save for Substance. They handle their files pretty well. All right, Shevchenko, thanks for tuning in, man. Good night. Have a good one. Sorry, I gotta move so much shit. Okay, so let's set up Unity. First and foremost, I gotta check if we exported our boy out as a PDF. Or not a PDF, a FBX. Wizard Lizard, Maya files. Oh, we got the OBJ. That's fine. That's good enough. So we're going to save this. We're going to close Substance Painter. And then I'm going to open up Unity. All right. Alright, Jabami's looking good. I'm going to get her in soon. She's for our casino map, because of course I need a gambling character when I'm going to be gambling. Plus she looks like a good dealer. So we're going to turn off Jabami. I'm going to go to Assets. Do we have a Wizard Lizard? We don't. I'm going to create a Wizard Lizard folder. Wizard. Lizard. Also, I realized the FBX or the OBJ won't work. We need materialing. So I'm going to open up Maya real quick. More, does texture size affect performance in VR chat? Trying to decide whether to do 4K or 2D textures. If memory serves, I'm pretty sure they do affect performance. But the big thing is the amount of materials affects it more. So really utilizing a good small UV map, where having you have a lot of things on one UV map is good. Having 5 materials with 2Ks compared to 2 materials with 4K, the 4K is better there because you're overall loading less things. So keep that in mind. It's a little bit different from map generation than it is players, because map generation they're static. I don't think it affects performance as much as characters do. But that is something to note. I can ask specifically Zixi, who knows a lot better about map making than I do. If it's a 4K on one material, that's like nothing. That's fine. Like, that's barely, that's not much at all. But that's just my belief, I'm pretty sure. I have to double check on that because I don't know too well. Let's go to our Wizard Lizard. Go to our latest Maya file, which is the final one. Now, he doesn't have any textures, or sorry, a rig, so we're not going to see him move, but we're going to see how he looks in Unity. So I'm going to drag select this. We're going to export selection as an FBX. And we're going to name him Wizard Lizard Final _ 001, because it's never actually the final one. That's where they get you.
gonna open up our Wizard Lizard folder. And we're gonna go to our folder. Let's import our guy. Now this will auto bring in the materials. I'm gonna jump over to the textures file. There we go. I don't need the spec maps or anything like that. These are just maps that I forgot to delete, so I'm only gonna just drag in these 4 textures we made. I'm going to change these to my custom-made shader made by my friend. Well, I didn't make this, sorry. ZXC's custom-made shader that we use. Because I think the shader looks very, very nice. Actually, before I do that, I want to show you the transition of what he looks like. So we're going to drop our boy in scene. This is what he looks like. This is the default materials, and you can really see how he comes together once I start adding these things in. So I'm going to add the default texture so you can see him in a traditional shader, and then I can show you what he looks like correctly. We're going to remove the color from the materials. That's something bad that shouldn't be happening. So we're going to switch that to white so we can see the true color. And that's our staff. And these are the eyes, apparently, that are not named. So, this is the default shader, and as you can look, it's a little lackluster. That doesn't look too good. Not good for Toon shaders, but he's there. It's okay. So now we're going to switch these over to ZXC's shader, and I can show you really how much work this shader does. It's one of the best Toon shaders I've used. And, oh, it's actually a little bright. We may have to adjust some things. But you can really see how far these things go. So with ZXC's shader, it's a Toon shader. But the reason why it's different than cubes is it uses true color, if not a little more saturated. But that's looking way nicer. Like if I rotate him so the staff shadow isn't in his face, since we're just testing things, that's looking very, very bright. And if I show you the difference, if I go to the body and I switch it to Cube Paradox's flatlit Toon, you can see he looks way more washed out. Like, it's a little unfortunate there. So, we'll see. Like, if I can mess with ZXC's shader a little bit more, like we can adjust the shadows and stuff like that. We can also support normal maps, which are really, really nice. And emissive textures, which are also cool. Like, let me just throw on the... Let's throw the body on, or sorry, the robes on the body so you can see this, and hopefully this should work if I up the emissive to 10. Yeah, you can see that he now glows in a lot of ways. Now, obviously, this wasn't made to be an emissive map, but you can see, like, his body would glow on these sections, which could be something that's really neat to do with these little specks, is having them glow a little bit. So I'm going to delete that, and we're going to remove the emission down to 0 again. So what's your plan after, or, sorry, I had to do this one final time, Wizardy Lizard, known as the Lizard Wizard, and out to the virtual community? It's a good question. I'm honestly swamped with game work, so I may work on my game a bit for art streams, which anything I do for my game is easily applicable to VR chat. I'll show you modeling, retopology steps. I'm going to be texturing my female character, which, let me pull up an image if you guys haven't seen that. Let me go to my Slack channel for my team. And yes, I definitely will, Derek. Do not worry. Let me find my gal. Oh, the pose is working on her. Good. God, I posted this a while ago, it seems. Oh, I only have that? Oh, I don't have the actual thing. Okay, you know what? Let me just open up in Maya. Gonna go to the computer. It's in my school folder. So this is the female character with no textures right now. It's only pure modeling, which doesn't look that good. But if I, the concept, the topology, let me turn on wireframe so you guys can see this. We took her from a high poly sculpt. Where's the button? There it is. Nope.
not what I'm looking for. There we go. The topology for her is very well done, if I do say so myself. And that's what I like about her. As I'm trying to, I had to take this in from a high poly sculpt that was up to 20 million, and she is now only 28,000. 28,000 tries, which is really good for a game. This is about the average. The models from Overwatch are about this topology, and once we throw textures on her, she's going to be looking really nice. The high poly of her, which I've done a couple high poly things. Let me pop this program open. Since we're basically done with Lizard Wizard, I just wanted to see what he looked like in Engine. And I think he looks really nice. I think we're getting a lot of nice things that we were doing there. Let me bring this down. And we're going to bring over ZBrush. Give it a sec while it tries to think. So I've been doing two major things with ZBrush right now. Let me show you the girl, since we were working on her, what her high poly sculpt looks like. Independent study, not independent study, project 402, enemies, female. So this is the high poly sculpt of her. There's still a couple things a little off that I have to finish, like there's a part of her hair that's not done once she loads in. But this is the high poly sculpt, which is currently 20 million polygons. We're gonna basically, I had to take this down and we're gonna retopologize it to have the final character work well in 3D, and now we can texture on top of this. So this is its own thing. This is my specialty. I love doing ZBrush work. High poly sculpts are really, really fun. Very cool to make 3D printed stuff like this, and I love the characters that I can create out of this thing. To show you a more finalized thing that I'm working on, I can show you my independent study project that I'm doing right now, which is called Riviana. She's an ice elemental that I'm currently working. Yeah, it's only a casual 20 million lullable. I'm working on her, and I'm painting her inside the program rather than texturing outside in another. We're going to do the base texturing here and then import it into Substance for finalizing and cleanup. But this is a character that I've worked on. She is currently 15 million. So you can see a lot. But I'm having fun trying to figure out how to paint some things I've never painted before, like the ice in the pauldrons. Oh, come on. Like the ice. Oh my god, why are you doing this to me? It's hard to work ZBrush with a mouse, but painting ice has been interesting. Trying to get the materialing working good in this is really nice. So that's where we're at right now. ZBrush is being really screwy with me trying to work on a mouse. But these are some of the characters that I've been working on right now, trying to make these portfolio pieces. If she was a full body, I'd love to bring her into the game, because I'm going to have to retop her as well, which is bringing her into a reasonable poly count rather than 15 million. But yeah, so that's what we've done today, guys. We've made a Wizard Lizard, and he's looking pretty fucking majestic, if I do say so myself. So, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I don't really have anything else planned, so if there's anything you want to quickly see, I can try to do something. Otherwise, I may just call the stream now, and yeah, we'll wait for the next one. In the meantime, I'm going to save my little wizard boy, and we're going to take some photos that I'm going to send to my guy and see if he has anything he wants to say. She looks pretty chill. God damn it, Kakaretta. Well, she's your type of gal. Very much with the ice. But yeah, I've worked on a lot of things recently for this, like, if I switch to this, you should see the anim file that I'm working on for Mora. Currently, she's supposed to have a... Why is the ghost fire not on? Yeah. Turn the fire on. Do I have to hit play? Yeah. I'm trying to get this ghost fire blade to work. A particle stream is something I may do later once I figure them out more myself, because I know that's something that we can all learn from. Hello, Mother! Yeah, you just got in, and we're done.
I've been streaming for a while, but look at my let me hide more right now. Let me show you the wizard lizard. Our wizard lizard is a little wizardly lizard, and he's looking fantastic. This camera's really bothering me. I wish I could move it and delete it or just hide it. I'm sure there's a way, but I don't know. But our wizard lizard's done. He's looking pretty good. Right now, he's just going to be subject for review from our commissioning. We're going to go from there. How to use models from DeviantArt and other sites in VR chat? God, that is tough. I'm not super versed on redoing MMD models or what other models exist on DeviantArt. I know the basics. I can show you how to start it, but I have to learn the process myself. It's something I actually had to do for Jabami, who's a character that I'm going to get in for the casino, because I think she looks like a great dealer. I had to import her from DeviantArt, and I've been working and editing her to make her reasonable for the game, and editing the materials. Her materials are actually pretty outrageous, if I'm honest. I didn't do too much for them, but if I go to the Jabami's materials, where are you at? She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 materials with 2K textures, and that's very, very excessive. But if I'm going to be honest, every MMD model you see has that, and that's a little unfortunate. So, would you be willing to try to make a map on stream more? Yeah, no, definitely. That's something I should do. I'm working on the casino map right now, so that would definitely be something I can show. That's something I'll probably do that for the next stream, honestly, is work on the casino a bit. Because ZXC's making the games, and I'm making the entirety of the map. We're modeling things modularly in that. So things can be pieced, taken apart, and added and moved around. So there's definitely things you can cover. And you know what? What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to go put a poll on Twitter and my Discord or something. And I'll let you guys vote what you guys want to see next. And whatever you guys want to learn, I'll refresh myself on it, try to make sure I'm knowledgeable on it. I'll show you what I can to the best of my ability. Have you tried Auto Texture Atlas and Cast Blender's tool? I've had pretty good luck with it so far. It's a really good tool if the model already has textures. And you don't plan on editing the textures. If you plan on editing the textures, it's really questionable. Because what it does, it just makes a giant 4K resolution map with every bit of the UVs on it, which is not the best thing in the world. If you want to edit textures after that, if you don't have Substance Painter, you have no chance in editing those correctly. So, it's definitely something I'm going to look to do. This is actually the first MMD model I'm trying to port in because I haven't done it before. I don't like MMD models too much. They look good, and they work really nice, but in terms of things, obviously I want to create them myself because I have the know-how. But I figured for a map, she'd be very good to try to get in. I think her character is very appealing, and it just fits the theme since that show's all about gambling. So from there, I'm going to learn the process in Blender. I'm actually using Blender for this, which is something I don't normally do because Kat's plugin for that is invaluable. She has a lot of errors right now in terms of her rig and her arm and whatnot, and I have to fix that. But yeah, that's my plan for stuff. So, everyone, I think I'm going to call the stream here on that. I'll post a little poll for the next art stream, which I think I may just stick to Thursdays, because it just seems like a reasonable time for me, and I get a decent turnout for this, so I can't complain too much, and I want to make sure these are available and done for anyone who wants to watch a full process of what it takes to get to that level. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for turning in. Thank you for making making Wizard Lizard with me. I really hope you guys learned something from that. And yeah, I'll tune in next Thursday or next time we stream, whenever that maybe is. It's not a consistent schedule. And we're going to make more great things for this game. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Take care, and I can't wait to see our little wizard boy in game. Have a good night.